Alright. Dang. Okay, I did not see that last part coming. I didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming. Right now, it's How to Get Away with Murder, Season 3, Episode 4. Don't tell Annaliise. The episode actually starts off with Annaliise. She's in jail, and Annaliise is having a mental breakdown. It's just like, oh my gosh, her husband's dead. She doesn't know who's dead. She saw who actually died. She doesn't know what else is going on. Her life is in shambles. It's just too much. She's like, I don't want to be in here. I thought this was going to happen to me, even though technically the only reason why I would be in jail is because I was covering up people's situations and what they did. I didn't kill anyone. I'm still not a murderer. It's all these other damn people. Woo! So, with all that being said, it goes to Bonnie comes and says, yeah, you think it's bad? It's actually getting worse, because now we have to worry about they found another body, Annaliise. They found another body, and we actually see them going in there working on this person, and there's a lot of smoke inhalation. It's just bad. So we're back 4 weeks prior, and Annaliise, she had a little date with Eve. Not a date, but just them hanging out, having a good time, and these corny lawyers come, and they're trying to hit on Eve, and it's just like, oh, so she's the top litigation person, and you're her friend. I'm thinking, first of all, why couldn't it be reversed? Why couldn't it be reversed? Why does Eve have to be the top litigation something, and Annaliise is just a supporting friend? But anyway, they decide, it's just like, we're buying drinks. And it's like, we'll accept. So they dance with the guys, they have a good time. The guys already know they're not going to get any from the women. Annaliise comes home, she's stumbling. She's happy right now. She is exactly where she wants to be. Nice and drunk, and Nate's there to greet her. So she's trying to go kick off her shoes. She's trying to say, oh, I got this. No, I don't. And I'm sure it's nice to see Annaliise actually have someone, there to help her and have her back. Oh, yeah. Please like, comment, subscribe. We see Frank, and he invites this woman over, and I'm thinking, oh, Lord, why is he giving her all that money? It's all that money to get some type of gas. We don't know what it is at the time. We just know that it's bad. I'm thinking, if he goes and blows up someone, that'll be entertaining. I was like, I didn't even think about it possibly having to do with the house. And I'm glad I didn't, because that's not what it was for. And, Laurel's still trying to go, and it's like, Frank, I talked with so-and-so, just call me back. I love you. I miss you. Okay, bye. Oh, what? Hey, Wes. This is like, we go inside. Oh, okay. Who gave Asher a case? Why would someone give Asher a case? And then Annaliise comes stumbling in drunk. Everyone's looking at him like, this is bad. Why would someone give Asher a case? It's just certain people you don't give a case. You don't give a case, period. And it's interesting because we have, there's Oliver, and then there's Connor. And Connor, he's been doing this whole, I've been dating around, hooking up, it is what it is what it's not. And so we run into the situation of Simon, he's butting in a little bit too much. He's becoming a Budinsky. I'm thinking, are we about to lose one of the Keating Five? Because it almost feels like they're forcing Simon onto us. Unless Simon's the one dead. If he is, it is what it is. It is what it is. Because right now he's irritating me. He's irking me. As I said, Annaliise is drunk, so she goes, she meets the family, she knows about the case, but she tells Asher, yeah, I hope you brought your A game because I'm a little lit right now, and my vibe will not be killed anytime soon. So, we have Asher trying, notice I said trying to defend his client, and it's not going so well. He's being corny, he's being his usual Asher self, and the main issue is that the guy, he stole money, and he's essentially not telling them what happened. But they didn't care about any of that because Annaliise, actually, she's the reason why the case almost got thrown out. It almost got thrown out because they were just like, oh yeah, you're on license. It's just like, no, this is my student. He is representing under me. Well, actually, I wasn't referring to him. He's fine. It's you. you lost your license. It's actually been suspended. She's like, what? So she goes to the school. She talks to the head blonde lady there. And when she's talking to her, she finds out that because of the video leaking and someone leaking it, and I'm thinking this is an inside job. This is obviously an inside job. They're like, with everything that's been happening with you, we cannot have this type of behavior. You know, we can have you with the mouth, we can have you with the lip, we can offend you on some parts and go after you with other things, but you physically assaulting a client, regardless of what he did or the results that you may or may not have received from it, it's not realistic, it's not going to work, we can't operate like that. And Annaliise talking to Nate, giving him the 411, and Nate's just like, do you want me to go and look around? She's like, no, I got, it is what it is. I'll go and figure it out. Bonnie is taking over, even though technically Bonnie isn't being paid by the school. She's being paid by Annaliise. But the students don't know that. So technically Bonnie's taking over. She is a licensed lawyer. And this is when we're kind of trying to delve in to the man who they're representing. I mean, actually the teenager. And he's saying that he spent the money on sneakers. They're saying, Asher had the nerve to say, you know, I actually come from money, and even I, even in my teen years, didn't blow through all this cash just on sneakers. Like, it's not realistic. We know that there's something else going on. Bonnie's trying to say, you know, as a juvenile, this can be thrown out, but you need to go and work with us. For some reason, he's being very, very reluctant. We know that he's hiding something. We just don't know what. Asher's trying to give a rebel-rousing speech. It's completely different from what Michaela and also Connor did. Asher is the polar opposite. He's just like, okay, team stupid, team douchebag, team ugly. This is what you're doing. This is what you're doing. This is what you're doing. Simon wants to go and work with... Simon wants to work with Oliver because Oliver's going to go and do some hacking to track the money, to see where the money actually went. It's like, okay, Team Slouch, you guys focus on this. They're not focused on anything because at this point, they're just like, alright, it's actually a little bit normal again, so we can go and deal with our regular BS. Regular BS meaning, oh, Connor's on, what is it? A gay app, a gay dating app for the show purposes. It's called Humper. And Oliver's also on there. The difference is, Oliver isn't really using his account. It's Michaela that's looking at the men on there. But Connor is using it. He's getting a lot of action on it and from... action. A lot of action on it and from it. And it looks like, I don't know what Simon likes, what he doesn't like sexually. But I do know he likes messing with the King 5, period. So, a chance that he could go and mess with, not necessarily Oliver, but, you know, use working with Oliver to piss off Connor. He's all for it. Laurel goes, and she goes and meets up with Frank's father. She lies and says, oh, she's going to go to the office, the DA office or something to try and get more information. No, she went to Frank's father's place of business so that she can figure out, where is Frank? Where is Frank? Have you at least heard from him? He was like, you know, I'm sorry, you seem like a nice girl, but Frank does this all the time. You know, but you have to give him some slack because he's always been like this, especially ever since he came out of jail. She was like, wait, what? I'm thinking, Laurel, how's this a surprise? Frank is borderline a hitman. How are you not surprised that he did a bit in jail? But I'm guessing that's where his character got molded. I'm not sure what he was... This is the thing. We don't know what Frank was doing prior to him going to jail. And it makes complete sense why Sam asked Frank to go and kill the sorority girl. Because Frank already had a sword past. We just didn't know how deep and far back it went. It was just like, you owe me, you owe me. And it was because Sam and Annaliise got Frank out of jail. For some reason, Frank wants to go back in jail. He's posing as a custodian, and he's trying to get into one of those, you don't call it nursing, like the hospital portion of the jail, and his pass isn't working. So then it looks like he's going to go and do his usual Frank thing, infiltrate, and get this woman to trust him enough to drop her guard. While all this is going on, while the students are at work trying to figure out an angle, Annaliise is she's just hammered. She's already no, not hammered, but she's starting to slowly, the students have no idea that Annaliise was technically dropped in the sense, well, Annaliise was dropped, but the fact that Bonnie isn't represented by the school, so they technically don't have to listen to her. But you know, what they don't know won't hurt them. Really, on this show, what you don't know won't hurt you. And they go and they track their clients, you know, what he actually did with the money. And it's to this warehouse. Why? Because he has this storage bin full of baby stuff. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that's so cute. But all this stuff will only last for a short period of time. See, this is the teenager mentality. He spent all that money, even if it was good intentions, on baby stuff. You have to support this child technically for a minimum of 18 years. And you got it mostly baby stuff. I know I'm nitpicking, but that's what I was just thinking. And oh, it was just like, oh yeah, I'm doing this because girlfriend, and obviously she's pregnant, and I wanted to make sure the baby was taken care of. That's why I took the money. That's why I utilized the money. And we're thinking, okay, so who is it? We find out that it's his teacher. It's someone at the school. It's someone at the school. Technically, it's either his teacher or guidance counselor, something of that nature. Either way, it's gross. Bonnie is instantly pissed off because you know how Bonnie feels about adults having sexual relations with minors. You know how Bonnie feels about that, especially from her past. So she goes and she brings in the teacher, the aide, what have you, and she goes and interrogates her. And it's just like, oh, so what's your relationship with our client? And it's like, you know, I watched him over a period of time. Just like, we know you watched this 15-year-old, but you look like you're, what, late 20s? If it's early 20s, I'm sorry, because I'm not seeing early 20s. I'm seeing late 20s, 30s. But the whole thing is, she doesn't admit the fact that they're dating. She doesn't even say that she's pregnant. She just talks about how, I know that he came from a troubled past, and he just seemed like such a really good guy. I'm thinking, you know, this sounds like some Predator stuff. It really does. And the thing is, I know some people are like, oh, he's 15, basically an adult. No, not basically an adult. At the end of the day, some late 20-something, 30-something-year-old woman who's a teacher or works at the school that this teenager is also going to should not be having sex with said teenager, whether it's a male or female. That's just how it is. You know, I know some people, when it comes to male and females, they're like, well, you know, it's okay if it's a male. No. Age appropriateness. Why can't we promote age appropriateness? Bonnie's pissed because Bonnie's like, this predator, this, that. Asher's just like, wait, Bonnie, are you sure you're not going too hard on her? Because, you know, no, I don't condone she did, but your past with your father, that's why you're upset. And then Asher looked like, oh Lord, why did I say that? Bonnie's like, you stood by and allowed your frat brothers to go and rape a girl. You should understand why it's a problem for someone to be taken advantage of. And it was being, the situation was being taken advantage of. Of course he was. The guy was a teenager, and it's not like he didn't want to have sex with the grown adult. The issue is, he shouldn't have. She should have made sure it never happened. She should have never looked at him like that, because that's this is all nasty. Nate is talking to the prosecutor that, remember the prosecutor that didn't want to listen to Annaliise at all, the black prosecutor? Yeah. So Nate makes sure that he accidentally runs into her in the parking lot, and the prosecutor clearly is hitting on Nate. I'm thinking, Nate's not dumb. He knows what it is, but he's just trying to be nice because he needs to get information out of her. So he finds out she didn't even know that Annaliise was basically disbarred or suspended. She didn't know. And it's just like, okay, so she's not the problem, but okay, if it's not her, who is it? Who is it? She's happy, but she's just shocked, and she's pissed at her office and saying, like, they're not loyal. None of them are loyal. Come on now. And Annaliise is talking to Eve, and Eve is trying to console her. because Annaliise is just over everything. She's over Nate. She's over her current life. It's just all too much. It's all too much. It's not fair. She doesn't deserve this. We see, and then she goes and admits the fact that she called a hitman for Frank. And he was just like, what? You tried to kill Frank? And it's like, wait, but why are you getting mad at me? Why are you getting mad at me? I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't want the guy to be killed, so why'd you call a hitman? I don't know. I wasn't thinking. But even if he died, wouldn't it matter? He killed my son. He killed my son, and so I should have every right to want to kill that man. I'm thinking, and there it is. That's why you've been giving Frank the cold shoulder for all of these years. I'm glad you finally admitted it. We just need to hear this from you, because we knew what it was. We knew what it was, and that's when Nate comes as Eve is trying to console Annaliise. I'm thinking, Eve, stop it. Eve, stop it. We know your intentions, Eve. Stop it, stop it. Nate's just like, hey, what's going on? So, of course, Eve gives him a hug. It's just like, oh, no, everything's good. It is what it is. Just talking about my current situation at work and all that. And I'm thinking, this isn't going to work. This isn't looking good. Either Eve's going to come back into the picture or Nate's going to leave. Because Annaliise, she has way too much going on to be dealing with a relationship as well. Laurel is trying to figure out the public record on Frank to see why did he go to jail. His name isn't popping up because Frank is good at this. You really think Frank's going to leave a trail like that? Maggie has Laurel's number, gives her a call, and asks, I need your help because you're Wes's friend, so I need to help, need for you to help me plan a birthday party. She's like, wait, what? It's like, oh, okay. You know she was over there. I was just like, this chick really gave me a call to go and do something like that. So she comes back, and I was just like, oh, so where were you? I'm thinking, none of your business, that's where. None of your business. Gosh, they're gonna... What, I don't know what it is about them two. It's just so weird. Just so thrown together. That friendship, that relationship. I need Frank to come back to distract Laurel because this is going a little bit too much. And, you know, they're trying to work on the case, but Connor's phone keeps blowing up because of Humper. He keeps blowing up because of, because guys want to sleep with him, and Michaela's just like, I don't know what you're doing, but you're not going to get back with Oliver by doing all of that. Next thing we know, we see Connor, and I'm like, two at one time, Connor? Really? At first, I thought he was into some really weird stuff and just wanted them to do it while he watched. But, no, he gave both of them condoms. And it was just like, alright, let's do this. No, he made sure it's like that they were of age. Thinking, oh yeah, because they're in college. So what is he? He's a sophomore. So he may be like 19, 20, technically 20 years old at most. So, yeah, it is what it is. Because they looked really young. I was like, Lord, he's going to go away for sleeping with minors. They looked young. I will say that. I was like, dude, if that was a girl and I even had to question it, no. Now, Oliver, he's looking at, okay, who could have possibly done this to Annaliise? He finds the email and realizes it's Barry, what is it? Barry something. So it's actually someone who's on the board. And that means that it was an inside job who leaked the video surveillance of Annaliise slapping her client. Annaliise goes to the president of the school, and which is Soraya, and she is not having it. Annaliise was trying to yell at her. She's like, you're trying to play me, a board member? You already knew what it was. You're trying to pretend to be on my side, but you're not on my side. How dare you go and try to take my job away, my position? She said, hold up! I am not the one who did this to you. I am not the... And they got really close. I was like, oh God, if they go and start sleeping with each other, I'm done. That's what... Because I didn't feel that vibe that it was actually going to happen, so I knew it wasn't. Because I always feel right before it happens, whether it's male, female, 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 male, male. I just know. And I didn't feel it from there, so I knew it wasn't going to turn out that way. But what did happen was... They got really close, And while they were talking, it became one side because, you know, Annaliise is usually good at spinning the narrative and getting people to see her point. Oh, that's not happening this time. How this is going to work is you made your bed. You have all these things that have been happening in your life. I don't know what's wrong with you, but what I do know is I could have been on your side. You didn't trust me. So now you're in this predicament. You are not squeaky clean. You put your hands on someone. It is what it is. Grow up. Get over it. Get out. And next time, don't come barging in. You better make sure you make an appointment with my assistant. You got it? I was like, oh. Annaliise didn't say a word. She was shook. Because Annaliise was trying to go the whole route of everything that happened with the husband and the killer. You didn't even find the killer. The person who was posting the killer posters and advertisement. That was a good scene. That was a good scene. Laurel gets caught on the phone, so she has to go and lie. And originally, I thought she was just going to come clean, but I'm like, no, it's too early for that. Instead, she goes and spoils the surprise party that's going to be thrown in Wes's honor from Maggie. But the issue with, not the issue, but it's sad. Wes has never had a surprise party. And that speaks volumes. I'm thinking, Laurel, you're supposed to be his best friend, but you didn't even know that. Like, you don't really know Wes, do you? Bonnie is basically reprimanding Asher because Asher is still trying to say, you know, I don't think it's right, because Bonnie's plan is to go and use the school aid as to go and build up her client and tear the school aid down and make it sound like a sexual assault case. So that's what they're going to go there. Asher's trying to call Annaliise. It's not working out. Nate comes home. And Nate's just like, you shouldn't be drinking. Annaliise is basically like, don't tell me what to do. You need to get out. What's the problem? The problem is you. The problem is you're constantly coming in, changing things. I don't want you. I don't love you. It is what it is. He's like, you are broken. You are damaged. I don't know what happened to you, but you always push people away. You think that it's okay to push people away. It's just like, wait, so you're saying that I'm mean, I'm rude, I need to change, and yet you're still here? It's just like, no, I'm here because I'm trying to do you a favor. I'm trying to watch out for you. But it is what it is. Screw you. Have a good life. Your mother, Frank, Bonnie, no one, Sam, no one loves you the way that you need to be loved because of you. It's all you. It's you. It's you. He didn't say anything wrong, but I felt so hurt for Annaliise because I knew, I'm like, oh, she's so fragile. She's one of those tough people who acts tough, but she's really so fragile. So Susan, who's a person who slept with the minor who they're representing, she's on the stand, and Bonnie is going in. Bonnie's just like, oh, so what's your relationship with our client? Da da da. Oh, so did you know about a girlfriend? Oh, no, or a boyfriend? Nope. Nope. Oh, so are you pregnant? What? Are you pregnant by my client? What? You knew what the situation was. You knew he came from a broken home. You came from an abusive home. And so you took advantage of the situation. You took advantage of a minor. How dare you do such a thing? And, you know, the judge is like, you can plead the fifth because I'm going to give you an out. I see that you are drowning. You can plead the fifth. She goes and she pleads the fifth. The whole time, the guy was just like, no, get her to stop. He was asking Asher, get her to stop. Asher wasn't saying a word. He was just like, do it, Bonnie. Do it. Do it. I am with you. Do it. Do it. Keep going. Do it. It was like, ooh, okay. No, too much. Oh, keep going. And with the whole pleading the fifth, that basically put a huge wrench, made it seem like, oh, there's definitely some issues there, and the case got thrown out. The client's pissed because it's just like, you saved me, but now she's going to go to jail, and what happens to my baby? So I'm free, but what happens to my baby? You know, I can't afford to take care of the baby. I can do this, I can't do that, and now the baby's going to go into the system. Bonnie's just like, it is what it is. She was a sexual predator. It is what it is. He's just like, you two are horrible people. I'm thinking, no, Susan, the one that you slept with, needs a morality check. That's the real truth. And then Bonnie asked Connor to ask Asher to give her a reality check. Was she wrong? Was she wrong? He was like, no, and I'm proud of you because You stuck to your convictions, you stuck to your guns. You know what was going on wasn't right, regardless of what society may think, so I agree with you 100%. You know, when Nate called Annaliise an alcoholic and being destructive, she took that, internalized it, and came back. She was like, I'm an alcoholic, am I? Okay. That's it! So she goes and she has an emergency hearing, and she talks in front of, not the full board, but a couple of the members, a couple of the main members of the school. And of course they record it. And this is her deposition. Instead of going and, you know, just being ousted, they basically are gonna, well, she's running a smear campaign against herself. She admits that she's an alcoholic. She admits that after the death of Sam, the whole shooting, and also the flyers, it's just been too much for her. So she started to self-medicate. Annaliise is so smart. Annaliise is so smart. She is so smart. She is so smart. Smart. You is smart. I mean, you is smart. You is kind. You is important. I had to do it. I had to do it. While that's going on, Nate's sleeping with the black prosecutor that clearly was hitting on him the first time, and the one that's been wanting to get Annaliise for a long time. And I'm thinking, wait, is this strategic or is this just Nate falling into her? Either way, it is what it is right now, because Nate and Annaliise aren't together. So Wes comes and he enjoys the surprise. What's wrong with Laurel? Can Frank come back? Because I'm tired of her having this look of, oh my gosh, it's not even that she really wants Wes. It's just that she wants someone, and Wes is right there, but he's in a relationship. He's not even interested in you like that. Because there's still general interest and friendship. You guys are constantly in a tug of war with each other, pretend like you don't want to be together in some type of sexual relationship, but the reality is, at least as of now, that's not happening. Like I said, you need to go and find Frank, because this whole thing of you really wanting Wes, well, looking like you possibly want what? I don't like that storyline. I don't like that storyline. And so Annaliise successfully convinces them, you know, let me keep my job. Let me keep my job while I go to rehab. That's what I'll do. I'll go to rehab. I'm like, am I really what? Is Annaliise about to get away with it? And then she starts to go and attempt to sleep with Eve. Eve lets her know she's actually in a relationship. She's possibly moving down to, what is it, San Diego? Or somewhere in the California. And the person really loves her. It's a woman, of course. Really loves her. Annaliise is like, you deserve to be loved. You deserve to be loved. Which is Annalise's way of saying, I can't really love someone the way that they should be loved in a relationship. So it is what it is. At Wes's birthday party, surprise birthday party, Michaela's drunk. Asher's just like, okay, so we're gonna go over here, because Michaela's just like, Maggie, I thought you were gonna be some high sedity white girl. It's just like, oh, I get that all the time. Maggie's like, look, I threw this party for you. At least give me one dance. Laurel is over it and leaves. She's over it and she leaves. Connor is trying to talk to Oliver, and Oliver basically says, look, I can't do the same thing that you do. Connor was saying how, I understand you aren't as confident in yourself as you should be, but I see something you don't see in yourself. Oliver saying, because he has HIV, he can't just go and sleep with whoever he wants to sleep with. And most people he would talk to would have the same reaction that he tested with Connor. If I were to meet you at the first night and said that I have HIV, would you have gone home with me? Connor's just like, So, it was like, exactly. But I'm thinking, wait a minute. What do you mean, don't flaunt it in front of me? You guys aren't even living together. You're the one who broke it off with him. We're all looking at this like, this is stupid. This is something wrong with you. If I was dating the woman and she broke up with me, But then I went and dated someone else, and she was just like, well, you know, don't flaunt your sex life or da in front of me. I'm thinking, you broke up with me. I separated myself from you. And you... What? Yo! No! You do whatever the hell you want to do. Anyway, Annaliise is throwing away all of the clean food that Nate brought into the house. It's just like, go and get some junk food. Go and get some junk food. And because she's telling this to Bonnie. Bonnie's like, yeah, that's all well and good. What's wrong, Bonnie? Oh, my father's dead. He died just recently in the hospital. And because my father put me as next of kin, I'm thinking, Bob, that's her father's name. This man was disgusting to the very end. They wanted me to go and figure out what I need to do with the body. Frank, as we know, he went and he slept with the nurse the nurse at the prison who initially curved him, because you could tell that she was sexually frustrated. And Frank did that to get her pass so that he can go into Bob's room and kill Bob. Remember, he bought this tank filled with gas. I forgot what type of gas it is, like something chloride, whatever. Essentially causes inflammation in the lungs, and you basically suffocate, an excruciating, slow death from the inside out. I'm not mad. I'm like, dang, am I supposed to be mad at this? Because Frank didn't do anything that some of us wouldn't have possible. Well, let me not phrase it that way, in case anyone was watching. I don't do anything like that. But, long story short, Frank killed the guy. And Bonnie doesn't know this, but Laurel's listening in. So Laurel goes and says, I'm so sorry about what happened to you, and I really didn't know. Aside from that, I did hear back from Frank, and I knew that he was at that police, what was it, Coral? I knew that he was in the area. I didn't know that he was at the jail. My father gave me the information. He killed your father, Bonnie. And Bonnie has this look of, oh, am I supposed to... Don't tell Annaliise. That's all she says. She's like, don't tell Annaliise. Bonnie had this look of, I could be... am I supposed to be mad? He did what I wanted to do for years, so... Let's just keep it hush-hush. I'm like, Bonnie, just chuck it up as a win. Just chuck it up as a win. So Bonnie goes to the hospital. Oliver's there. He's trying to figure out, okay, what happened? What happened? They don't know who it is exactly. What they do know is they see Maggie. Maggie's working. She's, of course, a nurse's aide. And she's like, okay, I have the results. It's like, what results? The woman's pregnant. The woman I thought was a man. It's a woman who was actually burnt up in the fire. Who was it? Laurel! Laurel! Exactly. We're looking at this like, what? We're looking at this like, what? What? And she's pregnant. Is it Nate's? Or is it Wes's? Because with this show, you don't know. I'm so lost. 4 weeks. This is only 4 weeks. What? Oh, Jesus. Did she go, like, next week and have sex with Frank and get pregnant? So she's still alive. The baby is still alive. Thank God. Oh, this is too much. So was Frank the one who was killed? Like, or not? But all we do know is the pollster person will be revealed, and Mary J. Blige is on next week's episode. We do know, I think, that she was a part of a couple episodes, actually. But this is the one where she stars in next week. So please like, comment, subscribe. Who do you think is dead? Because I'm starting to think maybe it's not a part of the